Well, there are certain things in the Torah there's a great deal of law in the Torah that people don't realize. In fact, I took a course on analyzing the law as it applies generally rather than to religion. And it was most interesting. And the concept of telling the truth is one of the 10 Commandments. And in the various sections, you'll find admonitions that you should do the right thing in this and that. There's one that says you should not put a stumbling block in the path of a blind man. And then that's been interpreted. And that is, if you've got a crack in your ceiling, don't paint over it because you're concealing the defect from somebody that might be buying your property. It's not ethical. And these are all ethical principles. When the story about Noah and the flood and talking to God, now, whether it really happened or it's just a legend doesn't matter. But it says that God said to Noah, I will never do it again. And as a sign of my covenant, and a covenant means an agreement that is of more force than a contract even, I will show you the rainbow. And that's the symbol. Now that was something very significant because it wasn't just an oral statement and later on, go prove that God said something. But the rainbow was like you have a written contract. And that was a symbol of the covenant, the promise, the agreement, whatever you call it. And that became part of law. Have a tangible written contract, because there are contracts that you can make that can be oral contracts. There are other contracts that you cannot make unless they are in writing. They're not accepted as valid contracts. The ketubah, which comes from the Hebrew word kotev, to write. It is the marriage agreement, and it is intended to protect the woman if she has a bad marriage. She is protected. That is a very early thing in society. The story of the daughters of Zelophehad in the Old Testament, when they said that their father died not leaving a son. And the Jewish tribe that they were, whichever one it was, said, well, there's no son to receive an inheritance, therefore it goes to the tribe. Which meant it's like, well, when something's gone, it goes to the state. The state picks up and takes it. And they said no, and they appealed to Moses. And Moses postulated this decision. When there is no son to inherit, the daughters shall inherit. And I wrote a chapter in Illinois family law, the history and development of family law. It's been published in Illinois. And I quoted the Code of Hammurabi, who also said various things to protect not mostly, but there were sections he said to protect women. If the harlot of the town should have a child, the man that caused her to get pregnant must support the child. Now, these are all standards. They're not just Jewish standards. They're elevated historical, societal standards.